What's up, everyone? I'm Damien,
And I'm Nick.
and this is the Aki Culture Club.
What's going on, boys and girls and everybody in between? Welcome back to a special episode. This is episode 55. It's a holiday special of the Aki Culture Club. As you could tell, my background's different. I'm at home visiting the family. We got 2 weeks worth of anime to talk about, kind of bunching it up, into one because holidays are just, they're what they are, we got to do it this way. So you get 2 episodes of Assassin, 2 episodes of Demon Slayer, 2 episodes of Platinum Man, and 1 episode 86 because we don't really know what they're doing over there. And don't forget Blue Period.
Wow, Nick, that's a lot. Where should we start with our double episode special today?
Maybe we get, since we only have 186.
Okay.
Last week was do you know why there was another?
There was some sort of special broadcasting that was happening in Japan that day, so they didn't broadcast 86.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we only have 1 of 86, so I guess we should start there.
Yes. And start there we shall. Because they don't know where they're going or what they're doing next.
And I don't know what's going on in this show.
Okay, so let me see if I can break this down because I think I know what's happening here. So the 86 went into enemy territory, which is the Legion. Yes, sorry, I was gonna say Legacy for some reason. The Legion. They get into Legion territory. They fight the big weapon, right? And they pull back because Shin is going all crazy.
Yes.
So now, and now they're chasing this big weapon. I forget its name. Off further into enemy territory, while the people in the Jihad, or not Jihad, Jesus, Gad, the Confederacy is looking to they're trying to figure out why they're some are like, oh my God, they could die. Some are like, yeah, we kind of sent them out to die, whatever. And then they have not seen the Republic, or the Republic hasn't responded to any radio calls. So they very well could be dead. And they had even mentioned Lena for a second there and saying she might be, she never met up with us.
Yeah.
So essentially what's going on now is that they are tracking this weapon down, which is Federica's Knight, to destroy him. And then they are planning on what they are going to do after their final battle.
Yes. And this episode was kind of just like an exposition about Shin. Pretty much the whole episode. You mentioned a lot of points that they brought up. Someone said that Shin, it was almost as if he was possessed or something was controlling him when he was going after the Morpho Cannon in the previous episode.
Yeah.
And we saw that he was crazy eyes, he wasn't listening to they're calling him to retreat. He's just no, I'm going to kill them. And yeah, they called him out on it. And this, we really dug into the complexity of Shin this episode.
Absolutely. And it really seems to be he is kind of searching for his way out.
Yeah.
And not in the situation, but almost he wants his final moments to go up in a blaze of glory. It really reminded me of in Forrest Gump when he saves Lieutenant Dan. And Lieutenant Dan's I was supposed to die out there. You say it's almost like saving him is more of a disservice than letting him fulfill his wishes of dying on the battlefield.
Yes. And when they mention saving him, they're talking about the Confederacy picking them up when they were in Legion territory, right? That's what I got out of it.
Yeah, I think so. I think he wanted to do a literal suicide mission and attack the Morpho Cannon, destroy it, but also take himself down with it.
Yeah.
He had no intentions of going back.
Right. And it's this complexity of Shin is he bears he didn't want everyone else to die. He wanted to die, and he bears this Reaper position.
Yeah.
Where, we've heard him say it before, everybody else gets to move on except for him, because he is the Reaper. He is the shepherd for these people who he kills his comrades so they don't become Legion.
Yeah.
And he's the only one who's survived, multiple different cores.
Yeah.
And he's like super depressed because of it.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah. He was saying like he wants nothing, he feels nothing. Like it's the same thing as being dead, essentially. I think the exact quote I wrote down. He says, "That night I failed to die, and I think I'm still dead. I haven't been able to want anything." And I'm just like, "Damn, dude, damn."
Yeah, he's really electing to the fact that like he doesn't foresee himself in the future, which is a bad sign.
Yeah, and he's just saying like he talks about dying or his comrades dying as them like going on ahead of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like they're all gonna leave me. They're all gonna go on ahead. I'm just the Reaper.
And but the thing is that his team, his command, like his unit, also kind of didn't explicitly say that, but when they were having that private conversation amongst themselves with Frederica there, they kind of also had said that, like, we're going to, we leave him to do all the hard work, but we're also going to leave him behind when the time comes.
Right. Yeah, and it's super fucking depressing. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is. It's almost like everyone knows what's going to happen, but no one has said anything. It's all like this really large unspoken understanding discussion that no one's had yet, but they all kind of understand what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's this show is way more about the evolution of these characters than it is about the evolution of this universe.
Yeah, you're right.
Sure.
This is like wholly a character driven show.
Yeah, and our main character we still haven't seen, Lena, and you said something about the quote. They were like, the Republic isn't responding to radio calls. Essentially, the country must have ceased to exist and they were wiped out after all. And I refuse to believe that. I do not believe that.
Because there is no body, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I know it's rule number 3. If somebody dies off scene, like off camera, they're not actually dead. And we didn't see Lena die. There's no way. Her face is on the cover of the show.
It's on the cover.
Yeah.
There's no way she's gone, bro. She's definitely still here. I think she probably escaped somehow, or maybe her unit that she was commanding like infiltrated San Magnolia and then they saved her while everything else kind of went down in flames. I could totally see that being a thing.
Yeah.
And then like her linking up with them, but I don't know when the heck that's going to happen.
It's got to happen. We have a lot more show apparently because of these light novels. I think, right? There's a couple more novels.
Yeah, there's quite a few more. So like whatever, like whatever they're built, like the climax of what they're building up to this season is not the end.
No, definitely not. I made a couple connections with all of our shows this week. The one that I noticed in this show is it brought me back to Attack on Titan with they were talking about seeing the ocean.
Okay.
Like in these depressing shows, going to see the ocean and never being able to do that because they're trapped is like a goal amongst these caged creatures.
Yeah, you're right.
And there was another connection. I'll get to it when we get to the other shows, but yeah, it's just like seeing the ocean before you die is a common theme amongst the shows that are so depressing.
It really is. And there was multiple this week that had that theme of the ocean. And yeah, so I'm assuming that like they've always been landlocked and they've never seen, like I'm guessing they've never seen the ocean.
Yeah, it was a pretty neat moment when they were all sitting there and Frederick was like, it's like the ocean. I'd never seen it, but they were like just staring out at the beauty of the nature. And she said something like something along the lines of maybe the Legion is right and we never get to see this beauty because the humans are the ones that ruin it. Maybe that's what their goal is. I don't know.
I don't know either. Though it's weird because like you kind of said it, that it's just so character driven that we don't really get much world building. Right. And like they have introduced a little bit this season with like, the UK and like we've seen that the Legion can like communicate with each other, but we don't really know what the Legion's land looks like. We don't know like what their headquarters is, like if they're actually people controlling them, if it's just all AI bots controlling each other. and they form some sort of hierarchy where they listen to each other, which would be really interesting. But we don't know any of that. We just kind of are like squarely focused on these characters, and seeing them develop. And I think the peak of this season isn't going to be defeating the Morpho Cannon. Like I think that's going to happen, but I think it's going to be more or less Shin coming to terms with the fact that he's not going to die, and
Mhm.
then he needs to find something in himself to live for after they like fulfill this mission.
Yeah, he needs some sort of purpose.
Yeah. And I
Um,
think that's the point of this season is finding Shin's purpose.
I think you're right. That's one of the themes that I've been noticing
Mm,
amongst all of our shows, and we'll get into that when we get into the other shows.
yeah.
The purpose thing, which who doesn't struggle with trying to find purpose in life?
True. That's very true. There's very lucky few who have, I feel, have found a purpose and strive for it.
Yeah, yeah. That's
I'm not
the
one of
lucky
them.
few. I'm not one of them either.
I'm not one of them.
Why do you think we watch so much anime?
We chilling.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know what else to really say about 86. There was some like the symbolism of that dragonfly. Like it cut to it 3 times, and
Hmm.
it was like a cut scene, and the dragonfly like was getting eaten by ants more and more, and then
Yeah.
eventually it's gone, and there's like an ant like pulling its head off. Like, what did that mean? It's had to be something.
I will. So dragonflies in Japan generally mean like courage, strength, and happiness.
Oh, so and the ants just ate that and pulled its head off and drug it away.
Yeah, it could very well mean like that. Maybe the Legion are the ants,
Mhm.
um, and like, or it could be like we see decay here, but then we see like some sort of like cycle. So like
Mhm.
the dragonfly will die and decay, and then something new will come up from its body, perhaps like a plant or something, or another animal, like another bug or something.
That would be cool if they cut to it and there was like a flower that was where the dragonfly was.
Yeah,
Yeah. Heavy fucking episode, man.
it was. It was. I can see. I mean, it is confusing because like this isn't spoon fed shonen, and I
Mm-hmm.
agree. Like, I had no idea what was going on like the past like 2 or 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very, very, very much along with like what is happening? Why is this happening?
Yeah, I still like it. I still want to know what happens to these characters.
I think it'll be very clear by the last episode. We'll have a really good idea what's going on.
Good, good. Because can I segue into a show that I'm not not really liking?
Go ahead.
I mean, these last two were pretty good because like the action and the tension and all of that, but Platinum End, man. Uh, you know,
Yeah, it feels kind of like a ripoff almost. I'm not gonna lie.
it's like I noted it went down to 4.4 stars instead of 4.5 this week.
So it went down
So
1 star again.
it's still going down, man.
Yeah, and I think it's going to continue to go down. Honestly, this show really hasn't done much in the past 11 episodes that we watched it. We're just going to combine 10 and 11, and for the rest of the others, we're just going to kind of combine them.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so like this entire struggle is the Metropole man with the stalker. You know, uh, it's just disappointing because it feels just kind of like very, I don't know, like it's hard to explain. It feels like there's no depth.
Yeah. Okay. I have a perfect example of this no depth thing.
Sure.
This ragtag group of criminals that
Yeah.
joins Metropoliman.
Yeah.
Of course, they're like supervillains. Like,
Uh-huh.
and they're so one-dimensional. So the
Yes.
first guy who has the guns, that's who he is. He's the guy with the guns. The second girl with the virus, that's who she is. She has like a fetish for biology.
Mhm.
Like there's nothing else to these characters. And just
Yeah.
like there's no investment there, you
There
know?
isn't. Yeah, no, you're totally right. Like, and then there's the third character who's like the little kid with the mask on. And it's like no one knows who he is or what he's doing, but they call him boss for some fucking reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they appeared out of nowhere. So it's like, okay, I don't care that they didn't show us like No, honestly, I do care. Like it's hard to explain. Like we weren't told that he shot them with a red arrow or did something to their bodies and
Mm-hmm.
then gave them wings and then turned them into like his little goons, right? Like when we saw them show up, that's kind of what we realized. Well, at first I thought they were like a third party,
Mm-hmm.
like they were third partying this fight, and that's how it was going to change. I was like, oh shit, like this is fucking cool. Like they're third partying Metropolitan and like they're like ambiguous and we don't know what's going on. But no, they turned out to be like his goons, which is like, okay, that's kind of lame. But yeah, when you say one dimensional, like I couldn't agree more. Like, who are these people? Like, what is their backstory? Why do we care about them? Like the dude with the guns, you're right, he's just a dude with the guns.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear the ambulance?
Barely.
Okay, fine. Yeah, the dude with the guns is like he got knocked down in like 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like his character was so poorly developed and so one dimensional that it's like, oh, the guy with the guns is shooting the angels who Metropolitan knows that bullets cannot hit an angel's wings with
Mm-hmm.
like a candidate with wings. Like he knows that. Like he's a super villain
Right.
and has a lot of money. Like why would you create a character or create a person like that for your own gain? Like you know that he's going to get smacked. Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't make any sense.
It's just they're just fodder, which okay, I get that. Not every villain has to have a backstory, but like then you just don't care about that. Like think of My Hero.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many villains, but they all seem interested. Like the League of Villains is just as cool or cooler than the heroes because like they all have these complex personalities and backstories to them. And okay, they're more important villains and we've had more time with them, but like I don't know, it just seems so surface level and like no point to them in Platinum End because we didn't get that. Like you said, we know they're just gonna get fucked up. Like, and that's it. Like we know this virus isn't gonna affect all of humanity, or else that's a completely different show. You know? Like
Yeah, no,
what's her
that's
point then?
exactly. Like, and I think they did this earlier in the season too. They went with the train track philosophical question again. Like,
Mm-hmm.
do you let the train go over one person or do you let it go over four? You have to choose to kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thing. Like, and you're right. We know that she's not going to unleash an entire bio weapon on millions of people. Like, you're right. That would be an entirely different show. And we know that's not going to happen. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, then they have like, oh, I have the chip in my heart, or I press the button and kill everybody. It's like, dude, that's like kind of like played out almost.
Yeah, it's just not it's just not living up what it could have been. You know,
I
it's such an interesting premise
It
of
is.
the way that you can control people, you have wings, you can kill people, and I don't know, man. It's just it could be so much better.
Now, what did you think about like with Revel like getting promoted with
Mhm.
becoming the first angel that feels emotions, right?
Yeah, I thought that was neat. I thought it was a really cool, like he was trying so hard to become the angel of wisdom, it didn't work, and he cried. But also, and I thought like it was cool. I
Mm-hmm.
like his character. He was the angel of trickery. Now he's the angel of motion. I think that's cool. But also, it's just like it's like through the power of friendship, you know? Like it's it's just like out of nowhere.
And you know what? When he actually was trying to use his like Angel of Emotions like title, like he was trying to like guess if Metropolitan was like lying or not. And he's
Mhm.
like, that's a lie. And then it's like, oh, maybe he's not lying. It's like, dude, aren't you supposed to be like just got promoted? Like,
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
don't know. I feel like this show is pulling out all the cliche stops, like the
really
Deus
is.
Machina with like the God intervention, like God intervened and gave Revel wings. Like
Mhm.
that's like a trope. Like it's called, I think it's Deus Machina, where the God comes in and saves the day. And like he
Mhm.
didn't save the day, but he like changed the direct trajectory of the show, you know?
Mhm.
And by giving her wings, and then she can go and manipulate the fucking weirdo dude. Um, and now it's like a 4v4 fight, I guess.
Yeah, like I've seen in the SpongeBob movie, they cry and their tier hits a spark plug, which turns the sprinklers on, and they're all saved. Like the SpongeBob did that, all right? And now we're doing it here. It's supposed to be an adult show. It's supposed to be deep. I'm flailing over here, hitting my microphone because I'm getting angry.
Dude, I completely agree. It's almost like a slog almost to like get through this sometimes.
Yeah, I always watch it last because I don't look forward to it.
I watch it in the middle because I'm just like it's like a dip almost.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I would say like give it the 12 episode run, and then in season 4, like if there's more fun, enticing stuff coming through, we just drop it and pick up the fun, enticing thing.
I'm okay with that. I mean, we're supposed to give it 3 episodes, and we're giving it 12. And if it can't, some shows just aren't good, man. I don't know.
That's true. I mean, we did drop Tacked Off Destiny because it was that was like bad in terms of show. Yeah, I feel like we should have watched Mushoku Tensei instead, but we never watched the first season, so we would have to have gone through 12 episodes, and because apparently that's going really well. And then Osama ranking is like 8.86 on my anime list. Like it's amazing. It's being received like amazingly right now. It's higher than.
Are we snobs? Are we like animes? Are we becoming more snobby connoisseurs in our? I don't know. I just feel like, we're busy guys. There's only so much time in a week, and like, do I really want to spend it watching Platinum End? It's only 30 minutes a week, but that 30 minutes could be dedicated to a show that's good.
That's a good point. I mean, I agree with that. I think there's a good chance that this will not be continued into season 4.
Yeah. If you are like, this is your show and you really want us to keep watching it, convince us to comment why we should keep watching it. What are we missing?
Tell us, please, because I had no idea either.
And it's not even like we're just shonen noobs, because we're watching Blue Period, which is not a shonen, and it's good. It's very good. Characters, development, wonderful.
Yes. Should we just roll right into Blue Period?
We should roll in Blue Period.
Yeah, I think I like that. Yeah, and you're right. The characters, development, it's amazing. And I think even more so in this episode right now, episode 9 and 10 have shown the most development for Yaguchi than the past 8 episodes could have ever shown us.
Yeah, he's getting called out on his insecurities, and he is feeling for another person, and like the stress is still eating at him, and like he has so much on his plate right now, but we see him humanized even more.
Oh yeah,
in these episodes.
Exactly, because he goes from like our MC that's painting that we obviously know is gonna like do well and proceed through the like university exams, but they're throwing a lot at him.
Yeah, this whole Ryuji arc, it was heavy, and like I said, it really molded him into a more human character, for me at least.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. I feel so much worse for Ryuji right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost like they were kind of just had all their stuff just like thrown out of their room. Their dad like absolutely hates them. The mom just allows the abuse to happen, and the grandmother is the only like saving grace in this entire house. But on the flip side, the grandmother loves Japanese art, and that makes Ryuji want to just do Japanese art when they don't want to do just Japanese art. They want to do fashion design.
And they're good at fashion design. They get passion out of fashion, and they can't do it. And yeah, like imagine living your entire life's goal for someone else because that other person is the only person who's nice and accepting to you. Like that is just like they are going through like such an emotional crisis right now. And I honestly, I thought this was going to end with them killing themselves. Like,
really?
I thought that's where we were going. I mean, Iguchi thought it too.
Yeah.
What like every time they were out at sea, he was worried. And like when they were standing at the train station to get on the train to leave, I was like, oh my, is Ryuji gonna jump? Because like it almost made you feel like they were gonna jump in front of the train.
Yeah, it did. It did really make it feel like that. I did have the feeling that Ryuji was gonna step right in front of the train as it was coming. And I think Iguchi thought that it was gonna happen as well. And you're right. Iguchi had even said, like, why are we going to the beach in the winter? Are you planning on killing yourself?
Yeah, this man, there were some like good quotes in this episode.
There was. My favorite quote from these episodes was choosing not to choose is just as important.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, man, that's true.
In like if we're going chronological, when Ryuji called him out and was like, if someone was drowning, you'd bring a lifesaver, but never jump into the sea. Only those who have drowned themselves can understand the suffocation of the sea. I was like, oh my god.
That had to put and Yuguchi was like smacking himself in the face after hearing those two things because it's so conflicting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like even on airplanes we tell people, you know, put your mask on first before you put somebody else's mask on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like that is typically a commonly accepted like way of living your life, you know, like, and it is like people pleasing and doing things for other people and doing and like so there's freeze, there's like the like fight or flight, but there's also freeze and fawn too. There's it's actually a four built, and fawn is people pleasing, right? So like that's obviously a trauma response is to fawn to other people. So we know that Yuguchi doesn't want, he's not like eliciting a trauma response, like he's not people pleasing, but it's like on the far end of the other spectrum where it's like he doesn't want to help anyone, where it could come down to the point where he will feel a little bit of their pain or be dragged down into their like to the issues that they're currently experiencing. He's kind of like arm's length from everyone, even the people that are closest to him.
And Ryuji like called him out on that, like called him out on his character to a core.
Yeah.
You know, how do you respond to that? And obviously he responded like it ate at him, and he ended up, you know, throwing himself in the sea and going on this trip like a day before his exam to the beach with Ryuji, because and they're not even like best friends. It was like it was a big thing for him to do this, because like why was her suffering, their suffering, so like eating at him so much? I don't know.
It almost feels like, and that's a good question, and I actually like was thinking that as well. And one of the things that I had thought of was that like Ryuji was the one that introduced Iguchi to art, right? And that then opens up this entire world of art, changes who he is as a person, how he thinks about life. Everything was all bottlenecked through Ryuji, right?
True.
And to see Ryuji as somebody who's giving up on art feels kind of weird. It feels almost wrong. Like, and there are all totally numerous instances of a person introducing another person to something like music, art, you know, sports, and then that person becomes a bigger fan, a better like weightlifter, better like at you, and then you're like, wow, like they succeeded through past me, you know. And then there's times where people show you something and they stop doing it. It's weird, you know.
Yeah,
it's like different.
It is. It's just like the range of emotions and real life that we just went through in 2 episodes of the show is wild.
Oh yeah,
it's wild. Like, and we talked about suicide. My favorite quote was Rage was talking about their best friend, and they said that they told them they wanted to die, and best friend said, well, you better die naked. If that embarrasses you and you're bothered by other people's opinions, you can't die just yet. I was just like, wow. Wow.
That was intense. Like that single quote changed my entire perception on like actual, like obviously I'm not suicidal, but like the actual like, well, if I die right now, like would I feel comfortable? And it's like, no, I wouldn't feel comfortable. So it's like, well, I can't die just yet, you know?
Yeah. That was like so many layers to that quote right there.
I was like, damn.
Yeah. And like I've dealt with people in my life who are depressed, and I've dealt with people in my life who have talked about suicide. I'm fortunate enough that none of my friends or family or anyone has ever actually committed the act, but like that gives such a good, like, if you say that to somebody who's like in that, like, that's really something that they could think about,
Oh yeah,
like
that's
that's a heavy quote.
It is a heavy quote, and really makes you think about how you view yourself and how others view you, and how you take their opinions into what matters. So I actually, this episode, when they went to the beach, actually hit me a little bit harder than I thought it was going to. I'll open up a little bit right now. My cousin committed suicide in February 2015, actually when I was abroad in Italy. And obviously it was February. One of the things that he did before he took his life, he went to the beach in the middle of winter.
Damn, really?
By himself. Yes.
Well, so first of all, I didn't know that, and I'm sorry.
It's okay.
To hear that from you. So like this is so real, you know?
And when I heard him say that quote, I was like, I had to pause it for a second and was like, really reflect on the content that I was consuming in that moment, to check in on myself, to see if everything was cool. And it was like, damn, like, I think I was taking Blue Period for granted a little bit, in the fact that it's a scene in, and I'm like, oh man, like this is going to be adult and whatever. And it's like, no, like they're actually writing like really realistic characters.
Yeah.
And they're not doing or saying superficial things. And I just think that's like super special. And I was like, wow, this show's amazing.
Yeah, it's like it's rare to find a show that is so real,
Oh yeah.
My all-time favorite show, BoJack Horseman. It's about animals doing people things, but it's the most real show because they do, like, it's the exact same thing. They don't pull any punches. It's dumb. There's a lot of dumb comedy, but like they talk about things that, like, just like Blue Period does, that you don't see in shows really ever, especially cartoons.
Especially cartoons. It's oftentimes when we see these types of themes explored, it's almost done like in a joking manner, or like a very superficial, glazed over, like, oh, it's all resolved in one episode type shit. But and then like you said, in cartoons, it's even like more superficial. It's like, dude, like this is done, and like it's usually a joke, or it's not serious, or it's like Adventure Time, where it's like super layered and you really don't get to the root of it unless you watch like a 25-minute history of Adventure Time video, and then do like actual theories on them and break down each character. Like it's not something that's commonly found. It's special, and I think Blue Period is doing it really, really well. And we also have to imagine that this is like cross culture as well. Like this is a Japanese show made by Japanese people for Japanese people, and we are two Americans that are consuming it right now. And honestly, it comes across probably the same way.
These are human issues and human topics that they're exploring through art, through this medium of a guy who wants to get into art school. And it's done brilliantly.
And that's why, like, when we were talking about, like, in the beginning of this episode, like, oh yeah, Blue Period, it was like, yeah, I don't know if I feel like it's slow to me anymore. Like, after this 9th episode going into the 10th episode, I was like, I need to watch this. Like, I need to read the manga, because apparently the manga is better than the anime.
I believe that's usually how it works, especially with something like this.
Yeah. So I was like, damn, like, if the manga is better than the anime, then I have to read the manga. So that's definitely like on my list now of manga to purchase.
Yeah, man. Glad you got me to watch it, Damien.
I'm glad too.
I wasn't gonna.
It was such a shot in the dark, because it was like, and when I was thinking about like proposing it as a show to watch, it was like, this isn't our forte. Like, it's truly not.
Right.
We watch shonen anime, and that's kind of what we do, you know? And like, that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad niche to be in. We both love it. Why not watch it? But to branch off a little bit into the shonen territory, I think it's good to do every once in a while.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm never gonna doubt you again.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
That's what I'll say.
Because I got some shows for season 4 for you to watch. So
oh boy, stick around because Nick's about to learn a lot.
They're all shonen, so it's okay.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm gonna keep escaping reality into fantasy.
You won't know what's going on.
Oh man. Phew, we got 2 more. Both I think were pretty good. And I don't know which one you want to do first.
Actually, let's do World's Finest because I have some thoughts about Demon Slayer that might surprise you.
Oh, okay. Stick around, folks.
Yeah, because Damien's got thoughts.
All right. So do you know the episode numbers that we did?
10 and 11.
10 and 11. And this is a 24 episode show.
No, the 12. It ends next week.
Oh, okay. Well, that sucks because I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, it feels like it shouldn't end. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, damn. Why so soon?
Yeah. All right. So episode 10 starts out. We may have found out the name of the hero.
Yes. We may have found out the name. I'm glad that you picked up on that too, actually.
Yeah, they just kind of glossed over it.
They really did.
Setanta Magnus.
Yes.
AKA Cran's Hound.
Yep.
My question when I saw that was, when did he, like, so far this whole time he's just been an assassin, right?
Yeah.
When did his harem find out about the hero? We didn't see that, did we?
No. I think they might have glossed over that a little bit.
Okay. So now the ladies know about the hero as well. They know that there's a grand scheme plan.
Yeah, there's someone scheming, making moves, doing shit. Yes.
Yeah. And then we also found out that this goddess like reports to a higher existence.
Yes, we realized that she's actually not a goddess. She is World Preservation System Administrator 3800, reporting to higher existence.
That was wild. It's like she's like a bureaucrat.
Yeah, she is a bureaucrat, like in Futurama bureaucrat.
Yeah, it was weird. And we see that again in episode 11 as well. I'm kind of having a hard time remembering just like distincting 10 and 11 because I watched them together. Mm-hmm. One quote that I remember it now. So episode 10 is like we actually see some emotion from our MC, and he's going on a date with Dia. Mm-hmm. And this is nice. And the one thing I wrote down was I think they were in that hot spring or whatever. Mm-hmm. And Dia was like, I wish we could stay like this forever. And I'm like, well, now you did it because something bad's going to happen now. You can never say that.
Every time. Hey, this should be an Aki Culture Club amendment, honestly. Anytime a character says, I want to stay like this forever, you know that it's immediately never going to be like that literally ever again.
Yes.
Like that is the end of it being like that.
Yeah. Did you watch the post credits of season 10? So the beginning of episode 11 was the post credits of season 10 or episode 10. So like he leaves, so they go on their date. It's great. And you know, it was a really happy time.
Yeah.
I guess it made me feel good. Like we actually see like he might actually have some emotions and feelings towards Dia.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he has to.
He even said something like my body or my mind is mature and old, but my body isn't. When they're going to the hot springs, he was like all nervous about getting naked around her, which was a little weird. But the end of episode 10 was the beginning of episode 11, and it was kind of like a cliffhanger where Dia's like, you guys can stop now to the villagers, and they all turn into like soldiers. Yeah. And her hair turns back, and you're like, oh shit, she's a war fiend or whatever. And then the episode ends. It was cool.
Yes. Do you know why she did that?
No.
I thought she was going to be evil.
Me too.
I don't know. I got that vibe. I'm like, okay, she's evil. But then by the end of the episode 11, I was like, oh, like she was just lying to Lou and telling him that everything was okay when in reality she was being hunted down.
Yeah. And like we saw it and Lou saw it where like she'd laugh and then she'd kind of look away. Like there's something going on in the
Yeah.
background, you know,
And
there's a problem.
they made it seem like in the end of episode 10, it was like, oh, she's gonna like she's evil and she like got turned or like, you know, she's being blackmailed, whatever. And by episode 11, she's like, oh, she just didn't want to like worry him, which is weird because he's kind of like super powerful. And I feel like if she was like more upfront about it, like he could have helped her instead of like leaving and going back to his dad and then being like, oh, you have to travel 300 kilometers again. Sucks to be you,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Episode 11, he's like, you have to assassinate Dia. And we're just like, oh, is this going to be like his turning against the Tuatha? But it's actually like a fake assassination attempt, like to make it look like she's dead.
Yeah, to stop them from like to stop them from attacking the village and the castle. They'll try to look like that the assassin she was assassinated, and then they'll be like, oh, so she's not a target anymore. And then, you know, that's what it's because he had to do that for his wife, who weirdly makes it so that they're cousins now. Which is like, come on, man. Why are we doing that? Like, why we could have just not said that? That could have not have been a thing. That would have been fine.
It doesn't seem like it matters very much to these people. That it's like a normal thing to marry a cousin.
Yeah, I mean, think about our royalty, like not our royalty, but in U.S. Yeah, not U.S. We've only been like here for a few hundred years. Throughout European history, royalty has always married their cousins.
Yeah, they were inbred as shit.
Yeah, they got big old fucking jaws. They were like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's some weird motherfuckers after that shit.
Yeah. Can we clarify something? Sure. These people are attacking for Cone because they want to marry Dia. Like they want her because she's a powerful, like noble, and she's a very powerful magician. That's the point.
I don't really know, honestly. I didn't catch it, and it was probably said.
I think that's what it is. Like she's a valuable, like, wife to be because of she's so powerful.
That's a terrible reason to want to capture somebody.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's
like,
weird.
Is it because her dad isn't there to protect her? So she's like easy pickings for someone to like swoop her up. And then what? She's like powerful herself. So she's obviously not going to go without a fight. It just didn't seem like a good enough reason. I'm not talking shit on the episode, but I just don't think it was good enough reason to like attack her. Like it would have been better if it was like the dad is obviously a strong magician and like he's off and it's like a good time for like the opposition to like go and take her out, and then it would like ruin the dad and then it would make him less powerful because he's now focused on his dead daughter and then whatever, like what have you. It would have been better than just like, oh, she would be a good wife. It's like, okay, it's kind of dumb.
Yeah, I don't know, I could also be wrong. I like watched these in succession at midnight last night. So I could also be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. My connections though that I was talking about that I foreshadowed. So we get a little insight into Tart and why she's like obsessed with Lou. Yeah. And that's because she was disregarded as trash. And he saved her and he gave her a purpose for living, which is to be a tool. She's essentially a tool for him to use as an assassin. And she's like perfectly okay with that. You know, that's her will to live. Have you seen that before? I know you've seen that before. You just might not remember.
Have I seen that before?
And we also saw it in Platinum End, but that's not the one before. We saw it in Platinum End with what's her name?
Saki-chan?
Saki. Yeah, she's like, she wants to live her life as a tool for Kakehashi to become happy and God or whatever. Okay. So like they're connected. But it is literally Zabuza and Haku from Naruto, the first villains.
Oh my god.
Haku got thrown out because he had this weird power. He was like super powerful,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like wandering the streets, and Haku found him and was like, "You're gonna come." Like I'm pretty sure he like said, "You're going to be a tool for me, who is an assassin." Haku or Zabuza was an assassin. This literally this like this is a common theme, like the ocean, that exists amongst these shows.
Wow. I didn't even put those two together, Nick.
It's the same exact relationship, and Haku was like obsessed with Zabuza, gave his life. Spoiler for Zabuza.
Damien's already seen it, so it can be spoiled.
Yeah,
Sucks for
18
everyone
years
else.
ago. This happened 18 years ago, so get with the times. Yeah, he like gave his life for Zabuza when in the fight with Kakashi, and like Tart like worked herself to exhaustion, and like her whole purpose is to be a tool for an assassin as well. And it's like the infatuated love that Haku had as well. It's the same thing.
Did Haku love him?
Yeah, that was like the only person who accepted him and gave it. Well, there's like a weird sexual brother weirdness love with Tart, but like Haku idolized and was obsessed with Zabuza because he gave his life meaning, and Lu gave Tart's life meaning.
That makes sense.
As a tool for an assassin.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense.
Yeah, it's weird. Like that's a weird dynamic, but I've seen it now 3 times.
Yeah, it is a weird dynamic. Now that we're thinking and talking about it, it's almost like the hero's journey or a human's journey to find purpose within themselves, and these people are finding purpose in another person. I feel like that almost always guarantees in death.
You think Tart's gonna die?
Yes,
I can see it.
Yeah, I think she will. Because they always are like, I am fully devoted to you. I have no purpose other than you. So if it requires me to die so you don't die, I will do it instead. Yeah. Tart's dying, probably.
Yeah, I can see it too. Yeah, she like went all out and like worked herself to exhaustion where she couldn't stand up just so he could conserve his energy to get to his destination.
And then what happened? He swooped in and picked her up. And it was like, oh my God.
Dude, his little battle tactics with like he ambushed or flanked the people, the soldiers that were attacking was pretty fucking awesome.
Oh yeah. It was pretty rad. He it's crazy how like he just recreated all the weapons and stuff that he had in his past life. He's like, yep, we're just gonna use this. We're just gonna snipe it. They're like metal pellets. And it's like, oh my God, you guys are dead.
Yeah, they don't know what a gun is.
They don't know what a gun.
Medieval times, and Dia has a gun too.
It reminds me of the meme when they're like, I want to go back in time and give a colonizer a head of the dab pen. someone on the Mayflower had pitted a dab pen and just like watch him cough. He's like, or like a Sprite from McDonald's, like make them take a drink of it.
Dude, it'd be witches. They call you witchcraft.
Dude, could you imagine? Like they're just chilling one day and it's like the 1500, 14, whenever they came out, and like you just give them a dab pen and then they take one hit of it. Like they have no idea what this metal rod with a light up battery is. They hit the dab pen and they take like a huge hit, and then they're just like fucking zoinked out of their ass, and they're just laying there, and then you're just standing there with your street clothes on, just like looking at this damn like Mayflower and just zoinked down,
powdered wig on. And he's just like, oh.
It's just like, oh my God, I need some meat. Like need some mutton.
Oh, that's good.
It would be hilarious. It would be hilarious.
It would be. How did we get here?
I don't know. Anyway, it wraps up next week, so we'll see how it ends. I think it's probably gonna be a cliffhanger.
Yeah. I mean, it wraps up next week, but he's only 14. He has to be 18 for it to end. So
yeah, and I feel like it's like not far enough like they haven't developed a story or arc long enough for it to be uh like an actual ending. It's going to end on a cliffhanger, and then I think at the end of it they're going to be like, hey, second core coming spring 2022.
Yeah. Dude, we also still don't know what his like D rank skill is. He's like, this is a D rank skill.
Yeah, we
So,
have no idea.
yeah, so it's
What is this being here? A D rank skill? Who knows? Yeah, we have no clue. There's a lot of mystery still with him, even between. It's funny because he is a mysterious character to everyone else around him. He's also a mysterious character to us as well as the audience, and I think that's what makes this a good show because we don't know everything.
Yeah, dude, we were gonna drop this.
I know.
Remember?
I know. Because we were like, this is weird, it's stupid. And then it was like, okay. And now it's just like, all right, skip through it. And then I'm glad that we dropped Attack Top Destiny.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I don't want to I want to watch season 2 if there's season 2.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I'm very much enjoying this. I know we'll do like a formal review once it's over, but I want to watch it again.
Me too. I think it's gonna. I think we're gonna get a second season, a second core in 2022, probably in the spring or the summer.
That'd be cool. I'm in. Dude, I want to know what you have to say about Demon Slayer.
Okay, so Demon Slayer. First off, the second episode was amazing.
Yes.
Like I am so excited every week when this comes on because I'm like, holy crap, this is so amazing. So we learned some new things. Tengen Uzu has 3 wives, and they are all beautiful assassins, I'm assuming, and they are set out to find demons for him, right? And we also realized that he himself is amazingly good looking and can swoon whoever he wants, which leaves like it to be so hilarious how the 3 of them each react. The one thing I love about the show so much is that the 3 boys, they all have 3 vastly different reactions to the same situation. Mm-hmm. And they're just it's such gold for me. And I think like, yes, I love Tanjiro and Inosuke is hilarious, but Senetsu in this season so far has been like really stealing the show for me.
Yeah.
Like his reactions to like Tengen Uzu has been so different. Like so Zenitsu is like a chauvinist that hasn't figured out yet that like being a nice guy doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know, and like we're going to get that character development eventually, I think. But it's really funny to just watch him like talk to Uzu and be like, you can't do that. But like Uzu Tengen's probably like, dude, he's suave, man. He's good looking. He's strong. He's a sound Hashira. Like he can do whatever, like he's got it like that. And you just don't, Mm-hmm. And then seeing them get dressed up as like girls to be like put into the houses, because like I'm assuming that's what he did with his wives. Like he just took them to different places and was like, you're going here, you're going here, you're going here, and then he just did it to those 3. And then like Inosuke getting spotted by one of the madams at the house and being like, oh, you have a beautiful face, under all that makeup. Like just it's just so good.
It was not the most recent episode, but the one before that, one you're talking about. It was like fun. It was a fun episode, which we don't get a lot of in this.
No, we don't, which is kind of a bummer. Like, I don't know about you, but like, I wouldn't be mad if this had like hundreds of episodes.
No, I really like the characters.
I do too. Like, it would have been cool to have like 100 episodes with Rengoku before the Mugen Train arc.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Like, yeah, I know. Like, but I mean, it goes to the testament to how great of a character he was just for him to pass and come and go in one movie or 7 episodes and have that much love for a character.
Yeah.
Like, I'm assuming there's shows that have like hundreds of episodes with a character. They die and it's super freaking sad. But like, could they have done that in 7 episodes like Demon Slayer did? I don't really know. The impact that Rengoku had was amazing, but it would have really been cool on the flip side to see like filler with him and all the Hashiras, because I'm assuming that the way that this is going so far is that he's going to go on missions with all of them.
That's kind of what it seems like.
And yeah, so it's like, who knows what the next Hashira is going to be? Like, it feels kind of like that because the way that they did the like Rengoku intro with Tanjiro was the same as the intro with Uzu.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're both like coming from the side, and it's kind of like showing their side profiles, like as they're like pulling their sword out. So like, and I think that's really cool. Like it would be really cool to see each Hashira, an arc with each Hashira. But like I don't know like how many, there's not that many volumes of the manga. There's only like 20 something. So like I don't know if that's possible.
Dude, what if we only get an arc with each Ashira that dies?
Don't do that to me, Nick. Don't do that.
That'd be sad.
Don't say that. Don't say shit like that. That's fucked up. Because you know what? There's a Rengoku sized hole in my heart right now, and Tengen Uzu's trying to fill it. He's doing a decent job, but he's not no Rengoku. So don't say that.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just kidding. But yeah. As for the second episode, I don't think it was that good.
Really?
Yeah.
What about it?
I think it was kind of like a little stagnant almost.
Like, because of that. I disagree.
Nah, okay. I felt like it was like it was almost like we went back in time. She killed the madame. Like they found out that she's like an upper six. Like she's a demon. Inosuke can't find her. Like Zenitsu, like it's hard because Zenitsu's the one that found her, right? Mm-hmm. But also Inosuke knows about her in the walls too. Mm-hmm. But they're not in the same building.
Yeah, it is a little bit confusing.
So like does her ribbons like can go across money houses?
Wasn't there like 2 time skips, or was there not? So, right. I am confused. Maybe are they in the same building?
I don't think so. I thought one picked up Inosuke, one picked up Zenitsu, and then another person picked up Tanjiro.
That's what I thought too. I would agree. I was confused with that. And I don't really know. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Because she was like human form with Zenitsu. She like with the little girl, she grabbed him. Zenitsu's like, you can't, don't touch her, and she punches the shit out of him. He falls asleep. But then with Inosuke, she was like form of the house.
Yeah,
she was in the walls. So I don't. Maybe there's 2 demons. I don't know.
Maybe there is. Maybe she travels. Maybe her ribbons can travel, mm-hmm. and they can do things for her. Kind of the same as like the demon on the train. Yeah. Like Dream was able to take her hand off, and like the hand was able to walk around. Maybe the same thing happens with the ribbons too.
Maybe because with Zenitsu's house, we never saw her body there. It was like just Makio, which is one of the wives, was like tied up with the ribbons, and then we just saw like blackness and a mouth talking to her.
Yeah.
So maybe it is some funky demon shit like that. I don't know.
It could be. It could be 2. Yeah, it could be 2 demons.
Yeah, it is confusing. But we did find out that 6th rank demon has already killed 7 Hashira, which that was kind of a shock to me. I guess because these demons like live forever. Maybe that's why. Because I think we would have known. Okay, we would have known. Also, my question is like, how common are demons in this universe? Like, do all the humans know about demons? Because it kind of seems like they don't.
It kind of seems like they don't either, which is weird because I feel like they kind of should.
Right.
Based off the interactions that the demons have and how long they've been around, like it should at least be knowledge that they exist and that they cause trouble.
You should be looking out for people disappearing and the weird eyes that all these demons have.
Yeah, exactly. Like think about Tanjiro's family. Like they were murdered in blood. Like who cleans that up? Like how does someone walk in here and be like, oh man, a coyote did that, Yeah. Or like a bear, like dude, bears, like that's different, man. Like this is like legit carnage.
Right.
And the fact that their bodies are still kind of like intact and not eaten should show you something. But you're right. It's kind of like the people are kind of like oblivious to
Right.
demons, which is kind of like, I don't know about that. Like they should know.
Yeah, you would think that like the Demon Slayer Corps, like one of their core duties would be to inform people that there are demons.
I mean, they don't hide themselves though.
Right.
Like they're walking around with like they have each demon core member who's higher up has their own like jacket that they wear.
Mhm.
I forget what the actual term is, but then each demon core that's like kind of like a normal has their own getup that they wear that's like black with the button on the neck.
Mhm.
So it's like they are like a formulated group of people.
Right.
So like you just don't see like these well trained, well clothed, like armed individuals just for nothing, like I don't know, like that would like raise some eyebrows
Right.
at
Yeah.
least.
It's a little bit of a gray area where the universe and the people that are in it, because like it's normal humans that get eaten, and people have been disappearing from these prostitute houses a lot.
A
And
lot, a lot.
like, what do the police think? Are there police?
Yeah, this is the 20s. This is the Edo period. Like they have electricity,
Right.
uh like there has to be more like involvement from the people. I totally agree. I have a speculation for you though as well.
Dish.
I think one of Tengen Uzu's wives is a Nusuke's sister.
What? Wow.
I think they look very similar.
Oh, yeah, but he's like a mountain man.
Yeah, he can have sister.
That's true.
He'd have
That'd be
siblings.
that'd be really cool. And what if like it's the same personality, but they don't know that they're brother and sister or something, and everyone else knows that they're
Yeah.
brother and sister?
Yes. Everyone else knows what them too, and they have yeah, that would be great.
That would be great, dude. I like it weirds me out every time I see him without his mask on. It's
Oh, me too.
like, and his voice doesn't match his face, and it's just weird.
It is weird. I love his character design. Like they made it so just like wholly great. Like the fact that he has such a feminine face, but he has such a loud voice and he's a great fighter and he's jacked, but he knows that he has a feminine face. So he wears the boar mask to cover it. And like when he takes it off, like I think we saw more development for Anusuke this episode too, which I was also pretty happy with. Like he didn't just like, yes, he did run down the hallway and head and punch a random pervert in the face so hard they cracked the wall, but he was pretty quiet and was able to observe the room for a decent amount of time. And I think like we saw him in more of a like focused state, especially when he was in that scorpion pose, like he was trying to locate the demon in the walls.
Mhm.
And it's like in his case, like this, like swing first, ask questions later kind of character. And to see him kind of like be more reserved and focused was like really interesting.
Yeah, we never seen him do recon before, which is
No.
what he was doing like this whole episode.
Yeah, which was I think was pretty cool. So maybe it's funny. I come into these discussions with like think one thought, like, oh, I don't think this episode was that good, and then I walk out it with, maybe I was being a little too harsh, and there was more to it than at face value. So thank you.
Two heads are better than one, Damien. Sometimes you just need a different perspective.
That's all you need. That's all you need sometimes, ladies and
Unless it's
gentlemen.
Platinum N, because it just needs better writing.
Just
But
needs better writing.
Oh,
Oh
man.
man.
Our Christmas special episode, 2 episodes of each show. We managed to do it in what, like an hour?
Yeah, an hour and 4 minutes.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. What's ending? So we have Assassin is ending next week.
Mm-hmm.
Platinum End is not.
Is not, because they took a break or two.
Demon Slayer is not.
No.
And we have like 4 episodes left of 86.
Yeah, 3 episodes left of 86, 10, 11, 12 of 86. And then two more, I think, of Blue Period. I think we watched 9 and 10 of Blue Period today.
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not mistaken. I think I forgot to put that in my anime list. Yes, I forgot to do that. Yeah, so 11 and 12. And then one more of Assassin. Yep. And yeah, and then Demon Slayer goes for who knows how long, probably 24 episodes, I'm hoping.
Nice. I feel like we're getting to the most exciting part of Aki Culture Club, which is picking new shows.
Yes. We'll be picking new shows probably next week because in January we start. There's a lot of cool ones coming up. So like Nick and I said, next week might be the last week for Platinum End, and then we'll pick a new show up. We'll definitely picking up the Holy Grail, the reason we started this entire podcast, Attack on Titan.
I can't wait, man. I cannot wait.
Yeah, so that's going to be a big one for us. But then there's like some other shows that I think are like pretty cool that might deserve us to look, like Orient looks like a good show. Sabiku Bisco looks like a good show, like a crazy fighter. So, but I don't know. We're going to watch some trailers. We're going to talk about it. We're going to pick some things, maybe throw a harm in there. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. But that's just for me. And yeah, that's it.
And that's it. You heard it here. Stay tuned to see what we pick. And I think Damien's going to send us off.
Yes, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to the Aki Culture Club. This is your not wannabe podcast. This is a podcast with your two wannabe wees.
It's kind of wannabe.
It's kind of wannabe. Where we detail the season's newest shows and analysis on old favorites. This is a special episode, 55 and 56 combined. You can find us at akiculture.club or at Aki Culture Club on social media.
And that's it, man. It's only one way to end it.
Peace out.
See ya.
Peace out.